realize my camera's in a different place than usual. Let me move it. Alright. There we go. Okay, we are here for day, I don't know, 8. Day 8 of Advent of Code in C++. I haven't heard from Miguel today, so I assume I'm on my own. And let's get started. So day 7, I really enjoyed yesterday's one with the directories and having to build that graph. That was fun. I hope we get one like that again. Day 8. Treetop Tree House. The expedition comes across a particular patch of tall trees, all planted carefully in a grid. The elves explain that previous expedition planted these trees as a reforestation effort. Now they're curious if this would be a good location for a treehouse. First, determine whether there's enough tree cover here to keep a treehouse hidden. To do so, you need to count the number of trees that are visible from outside the grid when looking directly along a row or column. The elves have already launched a quadcopter to generate a map with the height of each tree. Okay, so this is a height map. Each tree is represented as a single digit whose value is its height, where 0 is the shortest and 9 is the tallest. A tree is visible if all of the other trees between it and an edge of the grid are shorter than it. Only consider trees in the same row or column, that is, only look up, down, left, or right from any given tree, so no diagonals. All the trees around the edge of the grid are visible. Since they're already on the edge, there are no trees to block the view. And that leaves the internal 9 to check. So basically, for every row and column, we check both ways whether we're kind of doing like a ray casting type situation. We cast from this side, we cast from this side, we cast down, we cast up along every row and column. The top left 5 is visible from the left and the top because 0 and 2 are both smaller than 5. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. I don't think I have to read through all of this, but I can if some people are not getting what's going on yet. With 16 trees visible on the edge and another 5 visible in the interior, a total of 21 trees are visible in the arrangement. Consider your map how many trees are visible from outside the grid. Alright, basically what I'm going to do is read this into a vector of vectors just for simplicity's sake. And then just for every row, scan along, comparing the current element against the next one, stopping when we get to one where the subsequent element is larger than the one we're currently looking at. Adding the coordinates to a set, probably, so that we don't do any duplicates, because, you know, like, this one is visible from both scanning across this row and scanning down this column. So adding our coordinates into a set and then returning the length of our set at the end seems reasonable solution. Okay, new day. So we're gonna use, as pretty much every day, TL getlines and TL2. Okay, so we're gonna do our map, call this height map, is gonna be TL views getlines of in, and we'll convert this into a vector. Should we do some pre-processing just to make this a grid of integers? Yeah, we could do that. Okay, so we'll do get lines, and then we'll do std views transform. So this will give us a bunch of strings. Oops. and we're gonna return we want to make a vector of integers for each of these strings, so we can do something like diffuse transform character, return 0 minus our character minus 0 as a character, and then convert that to vector. My indentation is getting way confused. Geez. And then convert that to vector. So that should give us a vector of vectors of integers, as long as we do cast integer here. Okay, so that should be essentially getting us all of this in a nice grid. Let's do a sanity check just to just stick something here. Stick a breakpoint here. Day 8. Helps if we actually put some input in here, doesn't it? Okay. Syntax error. Yeah, it would help if I could actually like read my code with the... I think I need to talk to the folks doing the formatting for the IDE. As soon as you get into like this nested ranges stuff, it just becomes a little bit of a mess. Need to pipe stir to our view. Okay. Let's see if we get a actual height map. Okay. Got 5 by 5, 30375, 30375. Looks legit. 35390 at the bottom, 35390. Okay. So we've done some parsing just to get us into a nicer state, and now we can let's just do this. Parse height map iStream ref, and there we go. Now we don't have to think about that. Okay, so we've got our height map, and now let's have a set. Use unordered set. It's missing the forest for the trees. Unordered set of coordinate pairs. Visible. Okay, so is this necessarily going to be a square? Does not look like a square, but I could be wrong. You know what, let's shove this in here and just see if our input is a square, because that will make the code a little bit oops, a little bit simpler. Okay, so our height map is of size 99, and these are size 99, so it is a square. Okay, nice. All right. So we can initialize this, say our map size is height map dot size, and we can initialize this by saying for I is 0, I is less than map size, because we want to initialize this with all of the edges. Or we can just add all of the edges to the result, since we're just returning an integer of the number of trees. Yeah, we can just do that. Okay, so now we're going to do our raycasting stuff. So starting from let's say y is 0, y is less than map size plus y. So looking downwards from the top, and x equals 0, x less than map size plus x, and scanning across all of the rows. Then we want to check if what we're looking at is smaller than the next value. So maybe we will loop until map size -1, and we'll do if height map of y x is less than height map of y plus 1 x, then we're gonna keep on going. So we will do visible dot insert pair of our x and y. Oh, decided to work. And then keep on going. Whereas if we otherwise, we're gonna break and go to the next line. Now, is this correct? I think we want to do this the other way around, right? And we want to let me think about this a bit more. So we will loop over the y's. We only need to start at 1 for the outer loop, because everything else is gonna end up in the list anyway, because it's on the outside. Okay, so then we basically just have 4 very similar versions of this. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll maybe work. And this one's going to look backwards from map size -1 up until 0, or 1 actually, because we're going to do -1 here, and then we're going to do X on the outside, Y on the inside, and then we're gonna do that but backwards. Starting at map size -1, greater than 1, minus y, -1, -1. Alright, I have no idea if this is even vaguely correct, but let's just step through it a bit as a sanity check. Oh, there's no hasher for stitch pair. Okay. Just use a regular set. Okay, so actually, you know, I'll put the test input in. Like, we maybe could have done this with ranges and using like adjacent find, doing like a matrix transpose, but if I get the numbers right, then this should just work. Okay, so we're gonna start, we're looking at 1, 0. So we're scanning down this line. So we are checking if we got 5 and 2. Sorry, what was that? Should be 1. See, okay, yep, okay, sorry. We're looking at this. We're going across here. So that should, because 5 is visible, then that will get pushed in, and then because this 5 is not visible, then we break. Correct. We go to the next line, which is 6 and 5. We immediately break. Then we should immediately break again on the next one. Yep, and then we should add the first. Oh, what was that? Did we? Oh yeah, we don't need to do that line because that will end up in the list anyway. Okay, so that was fine. And then we have the one where we go backwards. So we start off with 1, 4, checking 2 and 1, we immediately break. Checking 3 and 2, we push 1 visible and then break. Yeah, and then 4, 9, we immediately break. Legit. All right, and then we're doing the columns, so we should be doing 0 and 5. So we do 1 insert, then we break. Yep. Then we do 5. Marshmallow is sleeping somewhere. And then we scan from the bottom up and we push 1. There we go. And then we break. And then we break again. Okay. So that looked like it was doing the right thing. So then we do cout the size of our visibles plus the edges, which is our map size times 4 minus 4, because we don't want to count the corners twice. Yeah. Okay, so the idea is we get 21. 21. Maybe I didn't need to step through all of this and I could have just ran it and got the right answer, but it did help for my like thinking that my not the right answer. If FillDev thinks the follow. Okay, well that's not the right answer. Answer is too low. Well, that's no fun because we got the right answer for the test input, but not for our real input, and that's no fun at all. So maybe let's do some debugging. Let's open up our input. Shove it over here a bit. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay, so we're initially wanting to look at what's this row. So we should break immediately, and then we should look at this row, and we should break immediately, and then we should look at this one, insert 1, and then break. Yeah. Okay, and then break, and then add 1, and then break, and then add 1, and then break. Yeah. We need a situation where we are doing multiple in a row. And then break. Okay, now we're at this one, so we should do insert, yes. Then we should do another insert, yes. And then we should do one more insert. That's wrong. Or did I just miscount? I do not like. Any ideas, anyone? Let's restart and just make sure that I didn't. So that's that one. It's that one. Insert 1. Yeah. Break. Insert 1. Break. Correct. Insert 1. Yeah. Break. Correct. Break. Break. Okay. So now we're looking at 2, 1. So we insert. Then we insert again. Oh yeah. And then we look at this one and we break. Yeah. Insert 1. Break. Break. I mean, that looks fine. So I guess we're doing something wrong in one of these. other ones. Maybe it would have been better to do a matrix transpose and then just run the same thing so that we're not making silly off by one errors. You know, maybe I'll do that. So in here we can do transposition, where dependent type is going to be added to C++. Well, we've got non-type template parameters. Oops, height map ij equals, like, how do we do this again? My brain is shot today. Do we have to make a copy? That's not gonna work, is it? You know what, I might call it a day for this one. I'm not, brain is not going today. So I think I'll call it a day for this one, and see you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining in. Bye.